It's nearly here. Just a few days to go until the county championship starts again. My name is Joel Lammy. This is View from the Bridge, and I'm joined by Richard Ailing. Richard, how excited are you?
I'm incredibly excited. It's so it was the best time of the year when the county championship season's on the horizon, and then you're sort of reading all the previews and who's going to be in, talking about who's going to be in the first sort of team of the season and how it's going to go. And there's a lot of anticipation about who's going to win the title, who's going to be relegated, and also obviously the competition places for the England team. So it's I'm incredibly excited for what's going to happen in the next few months.
Absolutely. I mean, it feels weird, doesn't it, not being defending champions? It almost feels like, for me, anything less than another win feels like a bit of an anticlimax, although it's obviously not the case. But I mean, I think that's the best place to start. How are you feeling about Notts' chances? Is everyone's predicting Surrey? Are they right?
I think yeah, that's the obvious place to start, isn't it? I mean, last season was so incredible. It's hard to sort of top that or get anywhere near as good as that. So, yeah, I would say that Surrey are well deserved favourites. It does feel like they're going to have the sort of bit between the teeth, doesn't it? And then they've got a few people with points to prove. You've got Pope, Jamie Smith, and then Alex Stewart going back as director of cricket. So I think they're going to be really, really difficult to beat this year. And we say that most years that if Notts can be in and around where Surrey are after sort of 3 quarters of the championship's done, then you'll be very, very, very pleased with that. So it's difficult when you win this. I mean, a few people says sometimes harder to go back to back than it is to actually win it in the first place. So we'll see. I'm still optimistic about Notts' chances looking at some of the other teams, but particularly Surrey will be a difficult obstacle to overcome. Are you being a bit more boisterous about Notts' chances against this year, or how are you feeling?
I'm the same as last year. I predicted a top 4 place and potentially a push for the title. I feel the same this time around. I would be more confident if I didn't think we were a bit under strength for the first game. I think when it comes to county championships, momentum is crucial. If you start well, you carry on. If you start badly, it's almost impossible to turn it around. I've noticed through some of my recent research on Notts and other clubs, if we have a bad start at Somerset, we lose and let's say Surrey win, it's going to feel like it's a mountain to climb. And I'm worried about Notts' bowling stocks for the first game a bit under strength. If we get out of that one, I think with a decent tally of points, then with Glamorgan at home next week, I feel a bit more confident. But I guess we'll see. I actually feel more confident about the white ball side of things. I do think with Notts, they tend to be good in one format or the other, and I think this year there's a bit of a renewed focus on the white ball team. I do wonder whether that might take a bit of precedence. I know there's a real desire to get back to finals day, so. So I'd say I think I'm optimistic of a reasonable season. I just maybe we'll have to accept it won't be as exciting as last year, but then who knows really. And I guess I'm just excited to have the cricket back. I mean, there's going to be a lot of England players in those first 6 rounds. I guess that's maybe almost more of the excitement, just to see who stands up in these opening fixtures and puts a strong case for England selection. I mean, who are you looking at? Well, which spots, I guess, in the team do you think are most up for grabs?
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to have to be changes. I mean, I think the England fans' relationship with sort of McCullum and Key is, I guess it does depend. There's a lot of, especially after what happened in the Ashes down under, there's people that are pretty fed up and maybe a little bit surprised that both McCullum and Key kept their places. So I think there has to be changes, because if there's not, I feel like everyone will be going crazy. So I say the openers definitely, and the spinner probably the ones you're looking at most. Particularly the openers could be 2. I mean, I think Duckett will probably start unless he has a really bad start to the season, but I feel like Crawley is, I mean, I would say, I said that maybe a few times about Crawley, but I think he's got very difficult. He's going to have to score probably a double hundred or something like those lines, just having a crazy start to the season for him to be inside. So I think the openers are the main ones, and then you've basically got quite I think a reasonable list of choice. You've got a bit more experience, one like Hamid and Sibley, and then you've got some of the youngsters like Tribe and McKinney who'll be fine. So that'll be a really interesting battle to see how that goes. The spinners, I think, there's not a great selection of options there. I mean, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. Maybe they might even go back to sort of Jack Leach. But yeah, what are your thoughts on anyone you'd like to nail your close to the mast and say will be the next England debutant?
Dylan Pennington. I'm convinced. It may not be the next one. I think he'll get in. I'm going to say he'll get into a squad this season. I can't guarantee he'll play. I think he'll get in. I think he's what England need. He's a new ball bowler. He's accurate. He's got height. He moves it. He's quick enough. If he's back to the way he's bowling, I didn't see him in the first day against Middlesex, but Peter Moore said he bowled really well. If he's back to where he was in 2024, that is an international bowler right there. Now, Sam Cook might have something to say about that. Ollie Robinson might have something to say about that. But Pennington would be the one I'd be looking at in that sense. I think spin-wise, I think there will be a change. Who that is, I don't know. I would probably think Coles is the favourite in that regard because he kind of ticks the boxes of being that exciting, game-changing player, and they probably want the guy who can bat a bit more. But again,
he's a bit more of a batter, isn't he? But
then Jack Carson might start the season well. I'd be surprised if Leach comes back in. I think they're not the sort of team that tends to go back to people they've discarded them once. In the same reason, I don't think Hamid and Sibley will get a go unless Hamid starts the season on fire. Again, I think they're more of the vibes type thing, and I think Asa Tribe, if he's averaging 40 or something, will probably get in unless Crawley, as you say, tears up Division 2, which there's no reason he can't do. The talent's there. He can put it all together. But that's where I'm leaning towards. I think Jamie Smith will keep his place. I don't think they'll look at getting rid of him. I'd be very surprised by that. I think opening bowler, spinner, and opener are the three positions which most are for grabs. And I think out of all of those, I think spinner's most open. I think opener is 50-50 in terms of Crawley. I think they'll keep him if he's scoring some runs for Kent. But I think bowling wise, there's going to be opportunities there because Jofra Archer can't play every game, and Cast and Tongue are there. But again, they're similar type bowlers. They're probably going to want someone who can keep things a bit tight. So I think there may be an option there for a Cook, a Robinson, or a Pennington to come in. So that'd be exciting to see as well. And in Division 2 as well. I mean, Jimmy Anderson, captain Lancashire, Durham with incredible lineup of players. If you look at it, Derbyshire, Derbyshire have Mickey Arthur in charge, Shoaib Bashir, Mohammed Abbas. It's great, isn't it? Like it feels like the storylines everywhere. I mean, what are you outside of Notts? There are things you're kind of particularly looking forward to seeing.
I think it's always nice to see different counties come up to Division 1. I know sort of Leicestershire are sort of Notts as rivals, and that's mainly Derbyshire. But I think Leicestershire, I think they're bottom of Division 2 a couple of years ago, and for them to come up and then sort of see how they go in the Championship Division 1. So yeah, Leicestershire and Glamorgan to see how they'll go on. I think I have a feeling, Leicestershire might. I don't know if I'm going to say they're definitely going to stay up, but I think they'll put up a real good battle. I think Glamorgan may struggle. I think they've not really added loads to their squad, and I look at their wicket taking. I think the highest wicket taker was around 30. They might spread it around a little bit, but I could see them struggling, especially if Tribe and get calls up. But I think newer counties having a real crack at it. will be interesting. And I think Leicester could be a little bit of a surprise bracket. You don't know if Rehan Ahmed starts well, he might get called to spinner one. So there's lots of ifs and buts. But yeah, it's nice to see new counties having a real crack in Division One, and I think Leicester could surprise a few there. What about you? Any sort of thing you're particularly looking forward to outside of Notts?
Well, I'd say I'm not convinced about Leicester. I think the signings they made, they got the experience, but do they have the players who can really make a difference in Division One? I think they produced a really. It's like when you see a team in the Championship and you see, well, these are great Championship players, but could they do a job in the Premier League? And I kind of think that a little bit here, that I kind of go, these are all solid pros, but are they really the players who are going to get you wins against and not a Surrey, a Somerset, those sort of teams? I'm not convinced. I think maybe lack a little bit. Peter Handscomb not being there is a bit of a blow as well, him being out. Rehan Ahmed, scored some good runs last year, but again, would he find his style of play maybe not as well suited to better bowling attacks? I don't know. I hope he does well because I'm a massive fan of his. So I wouldn't be surprised by Glamorgan doing well. I think they've got some very talented players there. Your Ben Kelleways and players like that. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they go down, but I don't see them being any worse than Leicester. I don't sort of see a massive difference between the two. I think my dark horse is Warwickshire. I like Chris Woakes in there. I think if they get a little bit in the wickets at Edgbaston, so there's not so many draws. Him, Ethan Bamber, Jordan Thompson's a good signing. Sam Haynes, hopefully going to play more of a part of the season. I can see a really strong nucleus of players there, and I think they'll bat very, very deep all the way down. And they've got some good, and they've got a bit of X factor as well in the bowling. So, I mean, would you have outside of Surrey, who would you kind of see as maybe a potential surprise winner?
I feel like maybe it's not should be second favourites here. I think Somerset have been talked up, and I do kind of agree with you on Warwickshire. I think Chris Woakes could cause chaos, but you sort of don't want to put too much eggs in the sort of older cricketers who's had a lot of injuries. So I can see that. I could see like when the season starts well. So Somerset beat Notts, and I was having a look at their fixtures, and I think I might be wrong, but I think they only play Somerset once, and it's the very last game of the season. So technically, I think they could have the title wrapped up without having to play Surrey, but I don't think that'll happen. But I could see them definitely being thereabouts. But I think they'd probably be my top three. I think one side who I think could potentially struggle. I mean, I agree. I think it's probably Glamorgan, Leicestershire, the most likely to go down. I mean, it's got points deduction, but I think Hampshire might a little bit strong. I think they've finished about, when I was looking at it, 8th last year. They've not really strengthened, and they've got some good players like Sonny Bakers, but I think Hampshire might be one that could struggle potentially, as I put them in there in the relegation dogfight. So I won't be too surprised. But anyone else you think might, or maybe on both ends of the table, there'll be a surprise winner or surprise relegation?
So I think I say this every year, but I always worry for Somerset. I always think one year they've lost a lot of bowlers, and they rely on Craig Overton and Lewis Gregory a lot for wickets. And I just worry one year if Overton doesn't deliver, if he's injured or has a loss of form or whatever, who gets their wickets? You kind of go in Jack Leach, but if the pitches don't turn excessively, I look at their pace attack. They're putting a lot of faith in two young left armers in Langridge and Ogborn. Miguel Pretorius, who I think is a good player, but I'm not convinced I think his batting kind of bolsters an all-round package rather than being an out-and-out gun bowler. Jake Ball, who I think is a great bowler, but hasn't sort of had a big red ball season for a long time, and you're relying on him. He's probably more of a wide ball bowler now, and I worry about them a little bit May not be this year, but I always think there's one year where maybe they just fall over the edge a bit. But their batting looks strong. Middle order looks very strong, so they'll probably be fine. But I think if they start badly, they may get into a little bit of trouble. I agree with Hampshire, but I don't think that'd be a surprise though. Again, I look at their team like you, and I go, Carl Abbott doesn't deliver, they're in trouble. Yorkshire's the fascinating one because Yorkshire, made a lot of changes. Jai Richardson's an exciting signing. Root and Brooks should be around for quite a bit. Yorkshire could be an interesting one. If they start well, you do wonder whether that momentum will carry them forward. If they start badly and then suddenly lose Root and Brook, you worry that maybe actually, they could go the other way. They're very much one of those, I can't put my finger on what Yorkshire will do, which is quite exciting in a way. I think they'll be the most exciting team to watch in the division. I think they'll be the most unpredictable in that sense. So, yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. I just think there's going to be great storylines everywhere, really. I mean, even trying to predict, top run score or top wicket takers. There's no one. Again, there's very few that really stand out. I guess you look at the Essex lot, their bowling attack, and you go, Porter, Cook, Harmer. You think one of those might have a good season and be there again, but it's going to be interesting. I mean, how does Ollie Pope and Jamie Smith, how do they respond at Surrey after their winters? So many great storylines, isn't it? I mean, I just can't wait. So I guess we're just looking forward to it, really. I mean, you'll be trying to get down to watch some cricket, I suppose, maybe on the stream as much as you can.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to get in as much cricket as possible. Yeah, you do miss it in the winter months when it's dark and rainy. And as you say, it's so exciting potentially the start of the season. And so you see how Notts go to defending the title. It's gone badly a few times, hasn't it? Trying to defend the title, but I'm hopeful that there will be a strong season. I mean, I think a lot did go well for Notts last season, but a few things didn't. I mean, I know you're a big Pennington fan, and they didn't have a whole season last season, but he didn't contribute as much. I mean, Joe Clark didn't contribute as much as potentially could have done. But Jack Haynes, I think Farhan Ahmed didn't have a strong season as well. The promise he showed straight away. So I think there are areas that Notts could, so a few of the players that could contribute a bit more. I mean. I'm excited for all of it, and but I agree with you. Definitely a bit nervous about the first game. And it wouldn't be the end of the world if we came out of that with a draw. I think I'd be very happy with that, and then go on to the second game and then take it from there. And we should have a pretty much full strength side. I mean, if that side with Duckett and Tongue comes in, then they're able to play this whole season, which obviously they're not, and lots of other teams have to. They're the same. And I think, that'd be a seriously strong team.
And what do you reckon? So look at the Notts. Who are you tipping for a big season? I mean, I think Liam Patterson-White's looking in good form. And Lyndon James, I think if he can get his bowling back to where it was in the last season, he could be a bit of an England bowler if Stokes suffered an injury. Yeah, who are you looking, sort of tipping from Notts' perspective to go well?
Yeah, I agree. Definitely on Patterson-White. It looks like he's. I don't read too much into friendlies, but it looks like he's started on fire and taken up some of the momentum from last season. So, expecting him to have a good season. I feel like maybe someone that's not contribute as much as they could have done last season. I feel like sometimes when you see everyone competing, you contribute so much success, and you haven't done your kick on, but. I think Jack Haynes is a difficult one to predict. He seems to be very up and down, sort of feast and famine. But if he can, sort of get a bit of consistency, then there's definitely a player in there. But I'm excited to see how he goes. So loosely tipping him for a big season, but a bit more consistency needed on his side.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, 400s last year. Really, we went from getting loads of 50s the year before to suddenly going, 100 or not many. So absolutely, it'd be interesting to see how he gets on. Well, I think we pretty much covered it. Is there anything else you want to raise, Richard? Do you want to talk about the season or anything else in general?
Not at all. Maybe a quick word on Division Two, which is also as unpredictable as Division One. I mean, again, it's sort of similar setup again with Durham. Durham look very strong again. I mean, just had a bit of terrible end to the last season, didn't they, to get relegated? But signing Kemar Roach, I mean, yeah, that could be a seriously good Division Two side. But yeah, Derbyshire's will be hanging around as well with Abbas, so that'll be exciting as well. But hopefully not two romps from Surrey and Durham, and it's quite close. But no, looking forward to it all. Anything final words from you on the preview for the county championship season?
No, I just think if you're a cricket journalist or sports journalist in the Northwest, I'd be going to every single day Lancashire play with Jimmy Anderson's in the side. It's like watching Messi play in the championship. Savor every moment of someone that great playing every day, or as often as he is. So I think that's going to be brilliant to see. I think that speaks volumes. I look at the caliber of coaches in Division Two: Mickey Arthur, Darren Lehman, just to name a couple off the top of my head. I go blimey, our game is so good that coaches of that stature want to come and coach in our second tier because they enjoy it, and I think that's brilliant. And as mentioned, Northampton, I see how Kevin Harrison gets on with the whole season behind him. I think he'll do well there. So I'm looking forward to seeing which players we haven't mentioned or no one's mentioned suddenly do a safe save from last year, racking up 700s or whatever it was in Div 2 and top run score in the country. Who would have predicted that at the start of the season? And where will the next tie where 591 nearly gets chased down or whatever it was of the final ball, and things like that. That's what I'm looking forward to. It's the stories that come out every week and make it so thrilling. So on that note, I think we'll call it a day. We'll be trying to do as many episodes as we can. We've had a couple of Somerset previews out already, one with Somerset podcast, one with Jake Ball. We recorded earlier today. And we'll just, we'll keep going on the podcast and on Substack as well. Richard, can't wait. It's nearly here. A few days to go. Easter's coming as well. Get your chocolate out. Get the stream on. Just cheer on the lads. And let's hope that we're back at Trent Bridge in September, celebrating once more. So thank you to everyone who's listened or watched. And we'll be back again soon.